Is it?
Peace, love, good health, and black power. I got my main man Neil
Yes,
with
sir.
me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey Neil, man, I wanna, if we can, I wanna talk about manhood today. That's just some things was going on in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
but before we get into it, Tim, can we, man, you been watching that winter time? That winter time talking about Magic and LA.
Oh yes, yeah. I finished the series. Yeah, I like it.
It's a good jump. But man, I wasn't hip, and so I seen a interview with Magic, and Magic was like, man, how can y'all watch this show? Because basically it was a dude that wrote a book, and he didn't talk to any of the actual Laker players, and he just came up with his own premise. Some of it on point, some of it's not on point. But one of the points that were real was the guy Spencer Haywood, and this guy he went to court and he fought against, because the way they had the league had it set up at first, you had to go to college 4 years, and then go to the league.
4 years.
4 years.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh okay.
And so he went to court and he said, since he was in a dire situation, mother, everybody messed up. Man, I need to get in the NBA and start getting paid. So he went to court and won.
That's interesting, man. That he the one. He did that.
He the one, and you never funny. Know anything about it.
We don't have no historical.
Man, Spencer Haywood.
Yeah,
he went to court, and so I didn't know anything about it, but now the Kobe's and the LeBrons and everybody else
all following behind him. Not only that, but even before the Kobe's and the LeBrons, the people who got to go a year. Allen Iverson, everybody, all these people who stayed a year or two. Yeah. So it's funny, man. It's unfortunate that they don't get no history of what.
Well, you can't expect the other man to give you your history, Chin.
Yeah.
We man, as I got older, and like I said, I always tell you about the dude, Brother Bay.
Yeah.
Man, and now. Man, you can go Google everything. With everything, you just got to put some extra effort to it. Yeah.
Another thing I liked about that show is they gave the dude who started the whole running, McKinnon. Yeah. And it's interesting because he was the nucleus of how Pat Riley and them became successful.
Showtime.
But it's unfortunate because I don't know if Pat Riley spoke about it but man, he was the one who created that whole style of play, man. So it's just unfortunate that he just got lost in the sauce.
Paul Westhead or Westfall, I think it's Westhead.
Paul Westhead was his protege. Yeah.
And man, right after that, they got rid of him, and Pat Riley just took it and ran. So if you don't know, like you say, the history of this thing, man, and Pat Riley took his style and been successful, man.
He's super successful.
Went to New York with it. He'd been
super successful.
I don't tell how many. Man, I looked at one John. I think he even won like 9 titles with it, because he went to Miami with it. Because that's the one thing that they could do that we can't do. They can go in the front offices.
Yeah.
We, they don't even give us a coach, but I don't want to. Yeah. And I want to touch on one other thing before we get in it. I want to, man, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels.
Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, man.
He started a vicious conversation that a lot of people don't like.
A lot of people don't like.
I appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate it.
You know what I was thinking about tone?
Okay.
So people would talk about his tone, this and that, but you have to remove all that and sometimes look at the truth. Now, if out of all the people who follow him, if only 2%, say if 100,000 people watch the show, and say 10%, which is like, what, 10,000?
Yeah.
Or he cut it in half, 5,000. If some of these women would listen, young women would say, hey, you know what? I see by having a child out of wedlock, it's not beneficial to my overall success. And I think he put this forth and allowed people to think about it. And he got men to think about certain things about, man, if you young and you're not working at getting a trade or professional, doing something with your life, man, you wasting your time. You know, so
to piggyback on what you said, he first started off like a fashion and cologne and stuff like that. And then he mostly was talking to men.
Yes.
And then a lady jumped on his show, and he kind of got on her, and man, you know, he become a phenomenon, so he stayed there. But a lot of people, everybody I know, man, I mean, like he said this and that and that, but it's really just clickbait. If you ever listen to his show all the way through, and they be 2 and 3 hours, but you listen to it, the conversation that start off like, hey, I'm 350 pounds, I'm 4'2", I got 7 kids. Nah, that's how I be going. For real. And then but I want a millionaire. Yeah. And he said, nah, babe, what's wrong with getting an electrician or somebody? Like, if you on this level, what's wrong with getting somebody on your level? You want a person way up there, but if this man is he's a millionaire with no kids, why would he marry somebody that got 7 kids? It just makes sense to me.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that they hate, man. Like that he was, and you know, some of it you might say you might not agree with his method, but the ideology was sound.
And to the method, like he would come off like I watched the shows for probably about 3 or 4 months, and so when the lady come in, they gonna come in talking slick, and he gonna say, hey, we don't do that. Be respectful, and they gonna keep talking slick. And then when he get them back, what they giving him, now he a bad guy. Yeah. Like he always, to me, and it's just my opinion, he started off very respectful. But you know, and then again, if you know, and say, if you go into a certain platform, this how you might be treated, why would you go to that platform? Yeah.
Especially if you already know that you're overweight. Yeah. You already know you got 3 kids. Right. You know, but it's this entitlement that people think, like, and I think, you know what it is? People don't want to accept the truth about themselves.
Man, that's what we're gonna get into today with this manhood, man.
I think that's what it, and I have to be fair, I've heard Kevin Samuels help women. Like one woman in particular, she was dealing with a dude older, whatever. He was taking, and he basically took advantage. He said, honey, you know what? A lot of times, predators, they look for people who come from certain environments. Right. He said, you need to go get a psychologist and work that out. Yeah. I seen him tell another lady, I got 3 kids, and I got this PhD, and we were, you know, I think I'm better than this dude, this and that. And he broke down his whole science, like, man, you're overweight. Right. You got 3 kids. Right. And your husband's been with you. Right. And he said, what dude want to deal with somebody who got 3 kids and overweight? Right. And he kept talking to her. And you know what she said? You know what? I need to go back to my husband. He said, yeah, you need to apologize. Yeah. You know, so.
And before you get off the subject, remember about the dude calling with the Uber driver we called.
Oh, that's my favorite. Okay, let's get him in. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, man, that was mean. My man came in, man. He was, man, fired up, man. You man, black woman ain't nothing, man. This and this, man. They hateful. This and he said, hold my man. What's going on? He said, man, I'm dealing with this girl. Man, she getting her doctorate degree, and you know, every week, only time we not arguing is when we having sex. And that's the only time she don't respect me. That's what I mean. He said, hold, brother. He said, what is she doing? He said, she getting her doctorate degree in science, blah, blah. And he said, so what are you doing? He said, I'm a musician and I ride Uber.
Hey, my man, Kevin said, man, you should thank God you got a shot.
He said, hold on. He said, are you trolling me? Are you? He said, is this a joke? He said, no. He said, are you? He said, man, you should be happy you getting something. Yeah. Man, go get a job. Yeah.
You're a musician.
He said, driving Uber? Yeah. Oh, man.
So I just want to touch on that because, you know, what was trending was Vivica Fox talking about, man, calm it is, and that's what he get for down on black women. And I never thought that. And I think I didn't understand the statement because everybody gonna die. Man. Yeah, so you saying
he died doing what he wanted to do. Yeah. Making millions of dollars. Yeah. And he was doing what he
and he
enjoyed
left,
his life.
man. You know, he left a legacy. How many people
yeah.
gonna die and be known worldwide?
Man, A-Tone, that's the biggest one
man,
right there. He left a legacy. And some women agree with him, but he left a legacy for men and women.
Yeah.
And you can still, to this day, he's passed on to the other world. You can still,
man, you got so many Kevin Samuels wannabes.
Man.
Everybody come up, man. They have a whole show on just, man. Look what he said right there. Look what he got on.
Man.
They make a whole platform on what he talking about.
Man, people making money just off talking about what he talking about.
Yeah.
Breaking down what, So rest in peace, brother. Man, he started a mean conversation.
Man.
And I think it's beneficial to the black community in particular, especially relationships.
Yeah.
And people's gotta jump on board. He tell dudes too, man. You can't.
Man, he stay on dudes.
Man, he stay on dudes.
He had a whole joint on fitness and eating. Like, man, how you expect you want this type of woman, but you over here looking like this, man? Like, you need to. And he always, with people that know, he always like, if you got a job, man, you need to get a part-time job. You need to build that money up, homie. Get that money right. How you expect to have a woman looking like this and you broke?
And another thing I like that he said that a lot of young men is beneficial for young men. He said, if you young, you should be, man, if you just working a regular 9 to 5, man, you slumming.
You slumming.
You need to be getting another job. You need to be saving. You need to be or you need to be in college getting a profession and doing something. So I like what he tells you young. You need to be grinding right now. Grinding. So when you in your 30s and 40s, you can be on cruise control.
Man, I remember he had a whole show on just hygiene, like how to take care of yourself.
Man,
I think that's very important.
Tone, hold on. My second favorite was he told the girl she had a tattoo on her breast. She got 3 kids. She was very, average looking, overweight. Yeah. And she said, Kevin, she said, I got 3 kids, this and that. He said, so Kevin, what can I do to get that type of man? He said, die and be reincarnated. That was a mean joint. That man said, you gotta come back and be reincarnated.
It's famous. He got his famous slogan is average at best.
Average.
Yeah. Hey, so Chip, I wanna get into this manhood conversation, man, because man, I just think we need it, man. I just think that we just gotta have a conversation, just talk about it, because man, we live in a society where anything goes, and if you go against anything goes, you some type of phobic.
Yeah.
I just think that's not proper, man. So I think that as a man, some of our most important things we should be doing is protecting, providing, and especially for the man, discipline as far as your kids.
Yeah.
And one other thing I wanted to add, I see that we're not doing is continuing education, whatever it be.
Yeah.
Man, and I don't just necessarily mean going back to school, but just, man, picking up a book every now and then, man, and keep on learning. But I just wanted to talk to you about manhood. What you think manhood is, and what does it mean to you?
Man, I think there's like essential prerequisites. So having as a man, having like a spiritual base.
I got that.
Having a relationship with your creator. Mm-hmm. Having a trade or a profession that you can be marketable in the workforce.
That's
Yeah. That's one thing, man. A lot of us wasn't taught growing up that you can just get a job.
Yeah.
But it's another thing to have a skill or a trade that's marketable, that people seeking you out.
And when you say that, man, I just remember people like, man, go get a job in the government, but it was no specifics, because I know you always talk about engineering, doctors and stuff. Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
And when you have those type of jobs, they come looking at Man, you know, a friend of mine was in the engineering department at Howard. This was in 2000, well, a girl I was dating, and man, they came 2002. They came to her and gave her offers. They gave her friend an offer for like 75,000. Now 75,000 in 2002 was like 100 something now.
Right.
75,000 to work for like Tide, whatever whomever make Tide. They come to you because she was an engineer.
Can I piggyback off that?
Of course.
When I was working down GW, now that you said that, the RNs, they was giving them $5,000 signing bonus plus giving them $75,000, $80,000 just because at one time, I don't know how it is now, but they was trying to phase back the doctors. Now the RNs doing more work.
Yeah. Because now, you know, they have, now when you can go to get your checkup and it'll be an RN do everything. It's a nurse practitioner.
Yeah.
You know, a RN is one thing, but then when you get your master's, you on another level.
Right.
And it's another thing called a physician assistant. That's like right under a doctor.
Right.
All you need is a doctor's signature for something.
Right.
So yeah, that makes
so
sense.
that's what you run into a lot now when you go to the emergency room. A lot of times you see.
Oh man, that's all it is.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
They do all assessment and then get a doctor to sign off on it.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah. And so, go ahead, brother.
So having a skilled profession, and you know, another thing is upkeep of always learning. You mentioned that to continue to learn, but also to take care of yourself. To take care of yourself physically.
Right.
Like to get to be in some type of shape, but also I would say to study some type of art, martial art, boxing, you know, something so you could be a protector and defend yourself and your family.
Yeah.
So those are, and then the attributes as far as like moral attributes, like be a man of your word.
Yeah.
You know, tell the truth.
Morals,
integrity.
Ethics.
Accept your losses and accept responsibility for everything you've done.
Man, that's a mean one right there.
Yeah. I think that's one thing I see in this generation. A lot of people don't. They always got an excuse.
It's always somebody else's fault.
Somebody else's fault, man. Accept your responsibilities, because when you're a child, it's one thing. You might have some messed up parents, but when you become adult, you can't go back in childhood and can't find enough, you know.
Yeah.
You can.
And to piggyback on what you said, I think that you can't solve the problem unless you say, hey, because if you admit that I did this wrong, then you can try to fix it. But if I keep saying, hey man, I messed up because Neil, I can't fix you.
You can't. Yeah.
Only thing I can fix is me.
Yeah.
So when I accept, hey, man, Neil gave me that advice, but I took the advice.
Man.
I messed up. So let me try another way and try to figure it out.
Yeah. And accept the responsibility.
Tone.
Well, you must have thought it was a good idea to do it, so you did it.
Yeah.
So that's the responsibility.
Yeah. And you know what I want to touch on, Tim, that I think missing among us, the truth.
Oh, there we go.
Nah, we gotta talk about the truth. Yeah, because.
Oh, hold on. One more thing. You have, even if I remember a dude told me, one older dude told me, I was like, yeah, I need to take a break, man. You know, what they call the unemployment. I tell him, he said, nigga, you have lost your mind.
Yeah.
No matter what, you should work.
Man.
He said, man, even if you digging ditches,
man,
a man should work.
A man should work.
That's it.
Man.
You should work.
And you know, my father, man, like my mother and my father, they worked 18 years straight, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm used to. I'm used to seeing that, so I can't understand a person that don't want to work.
Yeah.
It's confused to me. And I feel like, and this is where the truth part come in, I feel like if a person is in your immediate circle, that you should pull them up and be like, and just because I say it don't make it, you know, the world don't revolve around me, but man, I mean, facts is facts. If you got a car note, a mortgage, and all that stuff, and you're not working and you behind on your bills, it ain't got nothing to do with what I'm saying. I'm just pointing out, but you know that you need to be doing something to have an income coming in.
Man, I remember I told this dude we was talking about something. I said, man, yeah, you right. He said, nah, I'm not right. Right is right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, the right didn't start with me. Right is right.
Right is right.
And that's how it is. Yeah.
Man, that's me right there. Right is right.
Right is right. Man. It's not hold to each individual.
It's not just my opinion.
It's my opinion. Yeah. Right is right.
Right is right.
Since the beginning of time, man, you got to work to sustain yourself.
And the same thing my mother say, the truth don't lie.
The truth don't lie.
Yeah. Right is right, and the truth don't lie. The truth don't lie. Yeah. And I feel like I said, if a person in your circle, I wouldn't go up to anything, but if a person in your circle and you feel like that y'all close, you should be able to pull up on a person, man, and, you know, give them your opinion. And as men, we should be able to take constructive criticism. Because I see a lot of guys, man, you said, homie, I'm just giving you a pull up, man.
I think that's, along with what you're saying, the piggyback, that's another thing. As a man, you should have, you know, I don't know another word to say, but thick skin.
Emotional.
You should be able to take, you shouldn't be
too emotional.
Yeah, you should take whatever it is. I don't care if you say, hey, man, you acting like a bitch.
Yeah.
Hey, it is what it is. If it's your friend and you acting a certain way, you should be able to take that.
Man.
But run around and cry, man, you said that.
No. Especially when you know, like I say, as a person in your circle, and you know this man have shown over the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years that he love you. Then when he say one thing wrong now.
Yeah, and then, you know, along with that, man, that's not really friendship if you can't tell can't tell the truth. What type of friendship y'all working on?
Man.
Is that really a friend? So that means I gotta tiptoe around and tell you to lie to that means we don't have a true friendship.
Man. And so you know the new thing that's going on now is you told me the truth, but the tone,
man,
the way you deliver it, it's like, oh.
Yeah. No.
How it's wrapped up ain't got nothing to do.
Man, is it the truth?
Man, you ain't rapping right.
You want to rap with it, man. You ain't put no. And then look, after the rapping, spray some man.
With some cream on it, some fresh cushion. Yeah, man.
Oh, put a little note on it. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you ain't give me no comment. I'm like, man, you know, so for me, it's kind of hard because, man, they got a saying, tough time create hard. Man, I think you gave it to me.
Man, yeah.
And good times create weak men.
Weak men.
Yeah, so you know.
Man, and matter of fact, it's so funny you said that. Remind me of Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
His whole thing, he said that Americans, they're weak.
Yeah.
He said they're lazy, man.
Yeah.
They sit and watch TV, or you know, he was basically talking about the culture is weak.
Yeah.
And they got at him though, but you know, I think what he was expressing is that, man, everybody, you know, we live in this culture of just nobody, you know, people don't move as much. Men don't, you know, men sit.
Man, everything is so comfortable. You ain't gotta do nothing.
Man, you got AC.
You ain't gotta do nothing, man. You ain't even gotta go get food no more. You can bring the food to you.
Wow, AT.
AT,
that's a me.
Yeah.
Hey, nah, for real. That's a me. This thing about we used to have to go. Even that's such an interesting thing. Before we had to go get our food, even to the point that you even had to go to Safeway now. Yeah. But now the food come to you.
So everything comes to you.
Like my man said, man, the lion. He said, man, you have a lion in the zoo. You try to put that joke out in the wild. You like, wildebeest. Hey, wildebeest.
How are you?
How are you? It's a sunny day today. The man starts stopping. He be like, man, they didn't come bring my food. Yeah, T.
Yeah, man. And so, man, we just live in such a soft society, and I think it's just making the men soft. And one of my buddies was like, man, every time you talk to somebody, man, they always, man, I'm just staying out the way, but man, we need to start trying to get in the way.
Get in the way, man. How about that?
Yeah, my brother, Muhammad said, I'm trying to get in the way.
Hey, man, hey, Tony, that reminds me of this T-shirt I seen. My man, it said, either find a way or fade away.
Yeah. Yeah,
I like that, yeah.
Yeah. And so, man, I just want to talk about it, man, for the men out there that's watching this show, man. Man, if you're around our age, man, you got to get back to your kids, your grandkids, your nephews, your nieces, because, man, if you a stand-up dude and you treat your woman a certain type of way, your daughter going to expect this from her man. You know, like we don't see that. We don't see that in the home no more. Yeah. And so, you know, the little girls need us just like the little boys need us.
Man.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But they need men.
We need men. We need to be men. We need to be men.
And you know, speaking of that, man, one thing I've noticed, I got some friends who are like professionals that work in offices, and I've heard them complain about, like, they make good money though.
Right.
You know, some of these lawyers may be making $250, $300 a year.
Right.
But I heard, you know, especially dudes who have more of a physical, like, presence about them, they like complain about, like, they feel weak. That's another thing that's been said, is that now we sit in offices with AC. People sit all day.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
And even you on a bus, but you pushing, you driving.
Man, get up at the end of the line, do some type of something.
Yeah, but people sit literally in the office, AC, 8 to 12 hours a day. Lawyers 12, 14 hours a day, even sometimes, doing nothing. You know, that's why I see, you know, and they showing that the longer you sit, the shorter your life expectancy.
Man, I know your bone density, everything you get weaker, you going to become brittle.
Yeah.
And one more thing I want to add to this, champ, before we finish. I think that every man should have a sense of purpose or find his purpose. And I think that every man should have something that he's willing to fight for.
Oh, and die for.
And die for.
Yeah.
And don't get wrong. Don't nobody want to die.
Nah.
Because you know our John, we try to get to 100.
Man, functional 100, baby.
Functional 100. But you
gotta
have something that you willing to stand up for, man. Like I be seeing dudes. I'm a bus driver, and I be seeing dudes get punched in the face and spit on and all that, and they be like, "Man, I can't do this job." And myself, I'm always gonna put myself in a position where I don't go through that. We ain't arguing about no fee. We ain't. Man, you got it, home.
Yeah.
But once initially you get punched in your face, man, and that's something totally different.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, that's something that we got. Some bus drivers ain't going for nothing. Straight out of Lord. Man, why you whoop them like that?
Not out of Compton, out of Lord.
Straight out of Lord. 79 when we on the hill. Man. Hey, we got some jokers be.
They still got a shank on them. They got the
man. We got some dudes doing damage. They come like a dude, man, for assault. Man, you ain't had to whoop it. Because you know the way they got it is crazy. The rules are, if a person come punch in your face and go sit down, don't show a threat, you aren't supposed to do nothing.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. If a person spit on you and walk off the bus, anytime you file him off the bus, you wrong. And go, he can stand right on the bus seal and be 999, and you ain't supposed to do nothing. If you come off the side of that bus, automatic terminated.
Damn, for real?
Yeah. Because you pursued it.
Wow.
Once they show that they're not a threat, and so, man, you know, it's a fine. But like I say, for the most part, man,
you had to lure that joker back. Hey, man, you know what, man? You know, I'm good, man.
Come on, man. Well, like I say, man, you know, we deal with people come on the bus, they angry anyway, so it'll be a lot. But like, you got it, I don't worry about no fee. You know, some people argue about the mask. I don't worry about because now the mask is an option, but even when it wasn't an option, I wouldn't get into it.
It's not that, not that important.
Mine pay good, I love the job, man, and you know, We just gotta think better.
Hey, Tony used to have me laugh about them dudes coming to the bus. Man, I ain't paying nothing, man. Just go ahead.
Go ahead. Man, I had one dude when I told him to go ahead, bet you can't tell me to go ahead. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stay here the whole ride. Okay, homie. Okay, you got it. Nigga, I ain't too childish. You don't tell me to sit there.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Hey, you came with for losing, man.
Yeah, T.
Yeah. But man, I just wanted to have this conversation. You got anything to add, man?
Man, you know, that's what I remember we was going to talk about next time. Remember we was going to talk about the manosphere.
Man, we could get into
well,
it.
No. We going to say that because I was listening
a whole
to
show.
We got to have a show.
Yeah.
So I was listening to something this dude was saying, man, and he was talking about, so you know the dude, what's the dude who cooked food and killed himself?
Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain. So the dude was saying how, I guess Anthony Bourdain was dating this young girl. You know, he had tattoos, but this young girl, I guess she was, you know, jive wild or whatever. But they before he killed himself, they said that the media saw the young girl somewhere in Europe with a young dude, like a young stud, you know. And she said, man, you know, I appreciate if you don't let that out. But they let it out, and they said then later, and I'm not sure this is why he killed himself, but later he killed himself. And the dude was like, see, like, it's the women and this and that. And I'm just like, man, you know how weak that is, man?
It ain't got nothing to do. Yeah. First of all, being an older man, he know, and I know, when he seen that young buck.
Man. That's what I'm saying. Well, you know, people be trying to,
Nah. Yeah. Man, you know, like you talk about all the time, as far as older men could give security, but man, they ain't humping like that.
Man.
Yeah. They ain't humping like that. Yeah. You know, so she probably getting the bank from him, and that's been going on since the beginning of the time. Yeah, you gonna take care of it, but this nigga gonna satisfy me. Yeah. Man. So that was weak if he, and I don't know, but if a man, you know, you gotta just chalk that up.
Yeah, you got, exactly.
Man, go get you somebody on your level. Y'all just sit and
man.
And enjoy life, walking, hold hands and all that. Rub feet together. You get on 2 humps and go to sleep. Give me a glass of milk. Hey, Chad, how about that? That's just life.
That's life,
man. You can't get your youth back, man. If you still doing anything, you should be happy.
Man.
But man, we ain't gonna never be like we 18, right? We can't nothing help you get back to.
Nothing, man.
Nah. You know, the thing that prolong it though, you eat right, you take care of yourself, but man, I'm 57, about to be 58. I'll never be 20 no more.
Yeah, that's how it go, man. That's how it is, So I don't know. That's one thing that I saw, man, that God.
Okay, so we gonna let it go, but I gotta ask you about this before we go.
Okay. Man,
what do you think about DJ Envy wife saying, man, we was together 10 years? I ain't saying that's emasculating.
DJ Envy might slap somebody now, man.
Nah, he was like, man, well, you know,
man, I
was just young, and I'm like, nah, I was 16, 17, I was making jokes, man, like, nah, man, that. Hey, Chad.
I think to put it out there, they trying to put it out there as an educational piece, but that's emasculating.
Man, that's emasculating.
And then he followed that, man. He followed that.
Man, they made a book, and he was like, man, I was just young, so I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, man, I can't. But I think that's another thing, champ, with this new society. Man, you go on Facebook, people take from the morning when they go do a number 2,
man,
to the job, man, you just giving up too much information. And once you put your information out there, you can't get mad with nobody when they critique it.
Yes. Like how they say too much information.
Yeah.
And I think that's the powerful piece that a lot of people were getting on. Like people were saying how they were being mean towards, what's the basketball player with the son want to be a girl? What's the name?
Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, they were saying, like everybody, it's all these people coming out and talking about how, like, everybody has a comment about it, right? But somebody said, nah, man, you put it out there.
Once you put it out
there, man, that's what everybody's not going to agree with the way you see the world.
You might have 60% agree 30% don't agree, and 10% just don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
but man, I think personally myself, as a kid, 9 years old, he shouldn't be thinking about no type of sex, whether it's heterosexual, homosexual, any type of sexual. That's too young. And so, this little kid, because I remember when I was young, I wanted to be a cowboy. I get up older, I want to be. Yeah. And so you change your mind.
Man, yeah.
You change your mind.
Yeah.
And so, And so, man, that's about it for me, Champ. So the next show, we talking about the manosphere.
Manosphere.
Man, we got to get into this manosphere, man. We got to get into this manosphere. Man, y'all, please like, subscribe to this channel, and go check out our, we got a website, blackfunctionalman.com. Go check our website out. And man, it's always a pleasure, homie. Man, I had to go get a mild surgery, so I've been out. I'm everything good with me now. I'm doing good now, but man,
you back in stride.
Yeah, so man, we're gonna try to come to y'all more often, man. Try to get us once a week.
Once a week.
Once a week, man.
I remember this old dude this old dude, his father said, he said, son, everything ain't gonna make it. Hey. But we lucky that all your stuff is still making it, man. You something now, you still making it, man. Functional 100, that's where we go.
Good, Chet. I feel good, Chet. Yeah. So please like, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate anybody that watch the channel, man. This is my man. This is my little brother right here. I love coming. Talking, man. And they talk a lot about. I know we're supposed to be in it, but they talk a lot about how men, we don't really interact like we used to do, man. And for me, this is therapeutic. Just coming and rapping with you, man.
I was talking to a psychologist, psychiatrist, the one getting mad, psychologist. He was saying, man, because of this social media, a lot of young people don't know how to interact with each other.
I can't, but when you go out to dinner, like when I go out with my people, I tell them to put a phone up, because you go out and see everybody on their phone while the dinner going on right now. It's just like, hey.
So a lot of people don't. This right here is a lost art, man. Just being able to, what we call, shoot the breeze.
Shoot the breeze. Old school.
Shoot the
breeze. It's therapeutic to me, man. I get to holler at my man about, because sometimes you need to be around people, because you get to thinking one thing, and my man be like, oh, champ, man, what is you?
How my man Kevin saying,
and it was another young joker came on, I hate women, man, this and that. So the dude was like, man, Kevin Sanders like, well, man, how many girlfriends you have? I never had a girlfriend. But man, how many sexual? I never had. Well, man, how you know you hate women then? You talking crazy. How you gonna hate something that you never had a relationship with? So my man to check it. He would check dudes, man. They never showed that, because it might be the feminists putting all this clickbait out here.
Man, man, it's always the truth.
Yeah.
The truth, man, hurt a lot of people, man. A lot of people can't accept it, man. And that's more than just being a man, that's being an adult, man. You have to accept responsibility and accept the truth of what it is.
I want somebody to pull me up, homie.
Yeah,
I want somebody, man. I remember growing up in the neighborhood, the dudes be like, man, hey, champ, man, that don't look good or that. Yeah. Man, you don't smell good. Down to, man, brush your teeth, everything. They gonna pull you up.
Yeah, I remember you told me when the one dude, man, he said, man, nah. He said, man, you don't let nobody do that to you.
Yeah.
Man,
the dude Jack, when I told the dude.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, the dude Jack, the dude that cussed me out, called me all bitch ass, this and that. Jack coming in and smacked the dude out, man, kicked him. My father was mad because he tore up half the store, tearing him out the store. Old drunk.
Man.
But I was, I was young. I was scared to death. I ain't gonna lie. Dude cussed me out. But man, after Jack finished whooping, he came in and smacked the tape. Man, don't let no man think you a man. Don't let no man talk to you like. And so that don't mean you always gonna win everything. But just a lot of times, man, back then, a lot of times you just let a dude that you was game, let a dude know you was game. It'd be easy. Now these youngins killing off the break. It's a whole different. It's a whole different ball game, man. But champ, I'm through, champ.
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. You know, I mind, body, and soul. The goal is to die young as late as possible.
Man, and always give God the glory. Always give God the glory, man. Man, I know I told you my new spiritual journey, man. I've been going to the Church of God, Saints of Christ, and man, it was a piece of my life missing, man. You know, I'm getting closer to God, man, and my pastor, which is my son-in-law, man, he really be teaching us the Bible, man, and man, I'm really enjoying myself, man.
Oh, that's what's up.
Man, I'm really enjoying
How about
myself.
when your man said, Tony going to church?
Yeah.
He told me not to go to no church, man.
I mean, you know.
He said, how did never go to the church?
Hey, man, that was 25, 30 years
hey,
ago,
my
man.
he banged that joint. He said, man, how the devil get in the church?
Hey, Chad, only thing constant about life is change.
It's change.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And that's real.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing constant about life is change.
Yes, sir.
Man, you know, everything after that is, but like just this conversation we just had is in the past now. Yeah. We just gotta keep moving ahead, man. So, hey. But always give God the glory. And we out.